Hello everyone, welcome to a late live stream. I have to take my medicine in an hour. So hold on, I'm trying to get my video to pop up so I can actually welcome to a late sweet, it's working. Okay, there we go. Well, welcome. Alright. So, I guess we're going to do some coding tonight. Although, I probably should save this and actually do videos. That's alright. That's alright. I want to code. So the point of this game, if you have never seen it, there's a tech tree, and you gotta harvest like this, hay to unlock speed upgrades and grass, and then you can start going down the chain, and eventually we can get wood, sunflowers, pumpkins, soda, and so on and so on. So I don't know if I'm going to make this like a whole educational thing or not. I'm not quite sure. I tend to always lean that way, I guess, but yeah. So I started to live stream this earlier, then I heard it and turned it off because I was going to play with Nomad. 7 Days to Die, which is weird, by the way. I want to talk about, I got on my computer and 7 Days to Die just started running in the background. Like the security software, the anti-cheat software started running in the background of my computer, which I do not like. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, Nomad, I uninstalled 7 Days to Die, which I'll text you later and let you know. But anyways, so I start to do this. How we harvest is by typing harvest with the little cookie here, and then he'll harvest. Or to make it more automated than just one at a time. Okay, let's go like this. Maybe we will make it a little more educational. The hashtags, you see how it grays it out. Now the code can't see this. The code doesn't see that. The code only sees this. This is kind of like for humans to write little side notes and stuff like that. You do a little the number sign or the hashtag, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, you do it once, bam. See, it just harvests it one time. We're at 5. And then if you write multiple ones, 2, 3, 4, so then he do it 4 times, right? So we need 5 to unlock the while loops. In while loops, although they are not exactly the best thing to do in real world aspects, but they can be useful. And the while loop returns a value of a true or false, or true and false. Okay, so the while loop keeps oh my gosh, excluding the loop's body as long as the condition is true. Yeah, I'm not going to be reading tonight, guys. I'm tired. Okay, so instead of writing a infinite amount of harvest, we can type while and then true with a capital T, by the way. And then you want to do the little dots here. Those are called, like, what is it, a colon? And then you can see like how it's made it jump almost underneath it, like underneath it, like the angel swings, you know. If you don't have that, when you hit it, it goes straight down to the side. So what this does, this is saying while true, which it's always going to be true. It's not going to change. Harvest. All right, because there's no reason for this to ever turn to a false. So now when I hit it, I'm just going to start running a constant harvest. Okay. We could do a speed upgrade, which I think is best because this requires 300 there. Or I could go after a hat. Maybe I'll change my hat. Bam, we did a hat. Okay. So while he goes, maybe we'll change a hat. You know, I already know this. Alright, I like the brown hat. Now we can just copy and paste it like that. Or you could actually type in change hats. You can hit the little tab button here, blink, and then you got to do the little cookie. And on the inside, as it's shown up above here, you start typing hats. You see that it has hats, period, and then it'll pull up all the hats. Okay. Now I've unlocked hats on previous saves. What's the tree hat? I'm kind of curious what the tree hat is. Oh, it's a Christmas tree. Well, it's not Christmas, but I'll save that for next year. All right, I like the brown hat. Let's go ahead and get that bad boy going again. Let's see, was there another hat? I thought I had like, I unlocked the lightning bolt hat somewhere. I guess that's on my other one. So these are all hats that you start with, other than the sunflower hat. Do I really want to see what a sunflower hat does? It's a sunflower as a hat. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Alright, so we go back to the brown hat. Just for poos and giggles. Alright, we'll do that bad boy. We are at 136. Let me see, let's just bring up the speed a little bit. Okay, now the speed upgrade. This is fun. So the speed upgrade is, let's see, it increases the speed. Now, what's interesting about this, I'm harvesting, right? But I'm not actually harvesting. Because this is harvesting faster than the plant is growing. You see, it's getting to about 60. I don't know how easy that is to see, but it's getting around 60%. So that unlocks the if statement, apparently. And the if statement is extremely useful. So you could type if and then pretty much anything. But what we want to do is we have a new statement unlocked, which is called can harvest. So we want to check, can we harvest this plant? Is this plant 100% grown? If it is, then let's harvest it. So if can harvest, and then you got to do your little cookie, and now it's a cookie face. Okay, so now you got to have the colon here, the little eyeballs, and then the mouth, or the mouth with cookie, or it could be big old flipper lips, I guess. But just like the wild true, we need to have this harvest nested underneath the if can harvest, because this is what it's looking at. Okay, I don't know how to explain this better. If it can harvest, and it says, and this statement will come back true or false. If can harvest will come back either true or false. And if it comes back true automatically, okay, I don't have to say if can harvest equals true harvest. It's going to come back as, if it can harvest true, then go ahead and harvest. If it cannot harvest automatically, just wait. And now we'll see it's running a little slower ish, I guess, but I'm gathering resources. And this speed really is going to show up, I think, once we increase the land here. Okay, but let's see what else this says. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, I probably should read this. I read it all earlier, and it actually does really well explaining and also teaching, and I'm sure I'll probably have to read, which I will not read out loud because I'm not the best reader anyways, and nobody wants to hear that crap. So what we can do is we can yeah, let's expand. Actually, let's expand. Okay, so now we can see that we are at a 1x3. What was that? So when we hit harvest, we're just staying still though. We're not moving, right? So this is where the function move comes into play. And we have all four directions, north, south, east, west, and it's more like this is north, south, east, west. Okay, so it's like up, down, right, left. And then it's stating here, for example, move, and then have the word north in there. So what we could probably do, okay, is what we want to do is see if we can harvest here first, and then move forward, and then move forward. And when we get up here, we'll automatically shoot back down if we just continue off of the grid. It's kind of like Pac-Man. When we go through the little tunnel from the side, we'll come out the other side. All right, if anybody hasn't played Pac-Man, then I'm old. I don't like being old. All right. Anyways, move north. Okay, so we'll go north. Yeah. So now what's going to happen is, if can harvest, and then move north, and then it's just going to repeat itself over again. And we can do that with this little function right here. The non-colored in play button will allow us to do a step by step, which is really useful, especially later on trying to figure out our code. So while true, if can harvest, it checked, it was able to do it, and now it moves north, and it's just going to keep repeating. Okay, and now look at it, beautiful. All right, thank you, expansion number 1. So that's really cool. I guess really the next thing to go after would be plants, which will give us wood. All right, we'll start getting wood, which is what we need here to increase the speed to 20. Or, I'm sorry, to increase the speed to 225. So, let's go ahead and unlock plants. The plant, or the bush, or what do we want to call it here. All right, and stop. You're annoying. So we'll go ahead and get another one here. We'll call this one, we'll kind of set up for the future, I think. I think that'll be the better option for us. So we'll say, get off of cap locks. Need wood planted. Because whenever I unlock some stuff in the future, this would be really useful. And we can go ahead and attach this guy to our main loop here, which is our hay, technically. We should probably change that. So now we have a new function that is called plant. Okay, and then here it gives us an example: plant entities, which is what we'll have to type, and then period, and then bush. So honestly, let's copy that really fast. Well, here, let's do this. We'll copy this bad boy. Yeah, but then underneath here, placing the plant feature in a certain, it's important where you oh my gosh, it's important where you put the plant feature. Okay, if you put the plant feature up here, then it'll immediately plant the bush, and then it'll just start moving forward, which I guess we can technically do. Yeah, but we're letting this hay go to waste too if we put it right here, because it won't harvest the hay, it'll just delete the hay. So maybe what we'll do is we'll put it down here. We can harvest the hay first, and then we'll plant, and then we'll continue doing that function, and then we'll get some extra hay out of this. So we'll give the plant function. So now we have plant entities bush, which I will delete that. We'll just show you. So we have plant entities period, and then it pulls up what all we can grow right now. We can grow bush or grass. We want to grow bush, and here's a funny joke that just popped in my head that I can't say. I'm tired, don't judge me. So what we want to do here for we'll go ahead and say this one, we'll call this one, oh please delete, thank you, hay. I don't want capital H though. Nope, that's J. Hay planted, there we go. So we'll call this one, and we'll say we want this one to plant grass. Okay, and now let's go back down here to wood. Okay, so now we want to start getting the wood planted, and also I'm jumping all around, I apologize, but we'll see here that we have another function that we've unlocked. This is called a clear function, yes, to reset the farm. So pretty much what this does, this will reset my hat, unfortunately. So it's not, I don't know, it's stupid to change your hat, I guess. But and I mean, I could put the code in to keep my hat how it is, but that's all right. So instead of us starting here, I mean, we could try and run it here and then make it all the way back, and then there you go. Then we could go there, or we can go up here and we could type clear. Okay, and so what clear is going to do, which is what I've already stated, clear, I can't spell tonight, right there. I forgot an L. That's all right. Let me go ahead and close out clear here. Let me go forward just a little bit. So what clear is going to do, it's going to completely reset me to X0, Y0. Okay, it's going to bring me right back here. If this was wood, it will delete all the wood. I'll make it hay again. Bam, like that. And now we're planting bushes so we can get wood. And this is extremely slow. And you can see how it's waiting for the wood to actually, I keep moving my mouse, grow to 100% before it actually takes it, which time growing is 4.6 seconds. Jeez Pete. So yeah, that's how we get bush going. Okay, that's how we start getting wood. Now I think let's see, we'll increase the speed a little bit. Okay, we're not going to go after carrots. What we'll probably do is work on expanding. So I increased my speed a little bit, and now you can see I'm definitely getting held back by the fact that this bush is taking almost 5 seconds to grow. My goodness, that is slow. So I think what we could do to work on this would be to expand our field. Okay? Excuse me. So what we could do now, what we see now is that the field is a 3x3. And what we're doing is we're just keep going up and down, straight up and straight down. So how do we fix this? Okay. Let's go ahead and stop that bad boy. Let's go back over to hay because that would be easier. So now that we have moved north, we want to move east as well, right? Because north, east, south, and west. If we put here, what do you think is going to happen? Let's go east. Okay. What do you think is going to happen? All right. Do you think it's going to go up all the way and then come over here to the right? Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll do it one step at a time, shall we? So it's going to take a minute. If can harvest. Why isn't it harvesting? Dang it. What happened? It's moving north, and then it's immediately moving east. So it's harvesting, moving north, and then immediately moving east. Now we don't want that, do we? Okay. So what happens if we move, say, this guy out like this? Alright, so now it's in line with the if can harvest. Alright, so it's going to do the harvest. Plant, move north. Do you think it's still going to move over to the right? Let's see. Let's see, will it work this time? Oh! Oh! Ah! Things are going crazy. No, okay. Maybe we should read a little bit, yeah. Let's look at expand 2 here. Alright, so this is talking about the for loop. Now, for loops are actually really cool. I love for loops. For loops are kind of like the if loops, or if statements in a way, or the whole loop really. But for loops, really not explain them too well. It pretty much can do like it attached to like this range. Okay, so with it saying for I in range, I is just a random letter used. All right, you could use X, Z. You could probably even use a name. Potentially, it might flag that though. Normally, it's just a letter. And then in range. Okay, range is going to be amount of time. So for I in the range of 5, right, do a flip. Okay, so this, we'll use its own example for it. All right, so what do you think this is going to do? Do you think this is going to do a flip 5 times? Maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. Awesome. All right. So that's how this kind of works. You could use a for loop for a lot of things, but mostly, I think in this game, it's pretty much associated with the range function as well. So maybe, all right, it's late, so give me a second. I'm going to be a little slow on this. I'm not going to be as genuine here. We'll say for X in range, we got to give the little cookie here, and then we'll make it the Cookie Monster's face here with the eyeballs. All right, so now a big thing. All right, look what happens whenever I press the enter key. It goes right down underneath this, the X in range. So everything that's nestled underneath this is what this is going to affect. That means this is on its own. This is not going to be affected by this unless, okay, I push it up in underneath it. All right. And now what I could probably do is put a 3 because there's 3 slots up ahead. So now what we got is, while true, which it will be true, for X in range 3 times. So that means it should harvest, or see if it can harvest, plant, move north. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then on the after the 3rd time, it should move east. So technically, it should move it over here at this point. Also, there's a problem that I just noticed here. In my code, do you see anything wrong with my code here? All right, it's in this general area, right here-ish. That's right. Nobody responded to that. But this harvest is not underneath the if-can harvest, which means it was standing all by itself. Which means, I think first of all, it's just going to throw an error at you. Yeah, okay, perfect. So it's actually giving you an error. But if it wouldn't give you an error, it would just completely ignore this if-can harvest, and it would just harvest, and it's, remember, I have the speed boost on, so I wouldn't actually be planting anything. So let's go ahead and move this guy, or I'm sorry, harvesting anything. Let's move this guy back. Let's see now if we can move forward. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh, heck yeah, we did it. All right, perfect. But what if I tell you there's a better way to do this? That's right. If we come down here, we can see there's a function called get world size. Okay, now this is an amazing function. This completely takes this number away. You don't have to worry about it. Goodbye, number. What you can do is type in the range get world size. Right, and it'll automatically get the world size for you. Now look at that. It's white. And it should be yellow. Reason being is the cookie. We got a little sad face here. But we got a little cookie. Alright, so now we got a mustache man with a cookie. Okay? So now this is completely replacing the 3. Alright, so it's going to say for X in range, moving north, it's going to realize that there's only 3 slots up here and it should move over to the right. Let's see if that actually happens. And my clear function is going to push me back here. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Perfect. And guess what? The move east makes no difference because it's just going to push me as soon as it reaches the far right side back to the left. So that's perfect. So now we're actually able to move. Okay? Which is awesome. But that's not it. This is like stage 2 for the future, although this is a stepping stone. So now we need to get our updated movement function down here to the wood. Excuse me. I'm still sick. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and nestle that guy underneath there, shall we? And then we also need to get the move east function. Yeah. Put that here. Now, placement is a very important thing. All right, so we can see that 4x in range, blah, blah, blah. The move east is in line with it. Okay, that's because this is its own bracket, right? And it's kind of like you could put a space there and act like, you know, this is its own column. And then this column will start. Once this column finishes, it'll move down to this column. Okay? And then we can just double check just to make sure that it works. Perfect. That's awesome. Makes me excited. Pat myself on the back. So honestly, what I like to do, I like to have like a test, call it a test, you know. Oh, something else that I've learned. Let me see. It might take me a minute to remember what it's called. First program getting started. Loading backups. Maybe I don't have it unlocked just yet. Okay, we'll move on from there. So we can, no, we can't expand. We got to get carrots next. It looks like we need carrots for that. Harvest grass. So it looks like we might be onto the carrots. Or, we don't really need this right now. Let's wait till we get carrots unlocked because we need a few more things. So yeah, let's go after carrots and then we'll talk about some stuff. Oh wait, the debug. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the debug done. I need 50 wood. All right, let's talk about the debug in a second. This is where I would cut things, but hey, I'm live streaming. Holy cow, I forgot I'm live streaming. Do I have my water anywhere? All right, cool. I got too much stuff on my desk. Stop it. All right. Let's get the... It says print, but this is the debug function. This thing's awesome. It'll help you, especially whenever code is a lot bigger. So first of all, we got the print function, yeah? So print is like the absolute basic thing in coding, right? This is exactly what you would learn if you're learning Python or anything, is how to send a word out for the world to see. The print function. I said print wrong. That was weird. I did some weird airy P. I don't know. It was weird. Hopefully my pop filter worked well. So the print function does exactly as it says, print. In order to do text, you always have to do parentheses. If you don't do parentheses, it'll look like this, and then it'll say, what the crap is that? Okay. Print function is very useful. Let me see. So we can actually do this one right here. So we can print can harvest. Okay, so remember the can harvest will return a true or a false. And it might be a number 1 or 0, but we can check this out right now because we can harvest this grass right here that we have, this hay. True, we can harvest that hay because it is at 100% and it is ready to be harvested. So that is very useful as a for future stuff. I mean, it's not super useful, I guess, but sometimes it can be useful. Another thing which this gives us, see the little red dots, and you do the little red dots, you have a little line here that's kind of blocking this, and you can click it right here. So we'll do this right here. This red dot will stop us, our program, right here. All right, it won't run this program, it'll run all of this, but it'll stop right here and it'll be paused, kind of ready for us to hit play again. So watch. See that? So it ran through and then it paused here. So now it's ready to harvest and it's paused. So now we can continue. There we go. and then we can run through it again. And then we can just hit play, and it pauses again. So, and then we can even do it to where we do it to where move east. It's ready to move east. Okay? So that could be useful if you have a longer program and you're like, dude, I don't want to go all the way through all this waiting, you know, tabbing all the way through until it's finally time for me to hit do this. So yeah. So also right here is showing a print, get X and Y axis. We'll go ahead and do that. Let's see what happens. That is not the right program. Please don't do that. And it is giving us a error. Unlock is so, or since census. So I'm not quite sure what the census is, but we don't have something unlocked here that's allowing us to actually see things, which is all right. We don't really care. Oh wait, okay, this is what I was thinking of right here. So output. So this kind of shows us errors and stuff like that. So we can leave this. I started doing this in my other game. I kind of just like minimized it and I threw it down here in the bottom corner. Probably a little big. There you go, something like that. And then as things happen, sometimes you get a little triangle up here, especially if you're like running water and it runs out of water, and then you're like, what the crap is a triangle? Because I had that issue before. And it'll tell you down here in the output. So you can hit the eye icon, click output after you get debug unlocked, and then you are good to go to see all that jazz. Quick print will print down here into the output icon. Okay, so we could do quick print. All right, and we'll do the hello world again. HELLO, not W. Well, hold on now. World. I can't see. Thank you. Hello world. Down here in the bottom left in this output text, it is saying hello world. It's not popping up out here because it is the quick print instead of the regular print. Okay. So hello world. So that could be useful. I seen it as like whenever you're trying to do like the grids and you're like, oh, back in the day they didn't have it where you hovered over and it showed you what the X and Y axis was on here. So that's how I figured it out in the past, was by printing where I was exactly. So yeah, I think that is all the debug problems for us. Let's see, I think next is carrots, which reminds me of that movie. We need wood. Oh man, I can't remember what the movie's called. The second one just came out. What the heck is it? The Female Bunny Cop. That was a good movie. Either way, it was a good movie. Okay, I watched the first one, obviously, and then I seen the second one in the movie theaters with my family, which is ironically really sad because, you know, I'm a grown man and I'm enjoying a kid's cartoon. But, you know, I also like Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit's awesome, too. Alright, cool. We have 50. That was very watery. Wow. That was some watery water. Jeez. Alright, so now we've unlocked carrots. Alright. So we're going to go do a name that you probably won't be able to guess here. And we will call it Need Carrots Planted. Carrots. Alright, and then we'll do the Wild True biome. Actually, you know what? Let us copy all of it, please. There we go. So this is talking about, we have a new function unlocked. Go ahead and minimize all that. And let's grab, thank you. So it has a new function unlocked, till. In order to plant carrots, we have to till the ground. We cannot plant carrots on this grassy land, which, bonus pro tip, I guess, you can plant grass and bush on tilled ground. So why not just till the ground once and be done? But that's up to you. It's your own choice, I guess. So we also unlocked a new one as well. I think it's like ground, get ground something or another. Let me see what it's called. Get ground type is what I thought. Is it not unlocked yet? Nope. Okay. By the way, how I do that, you just literally, you can press any key you want and then just use the up and down arrows, and you can kind of just scroll through and then hit tab to accept the one that you want. Or if you know what it is starting out, you can just hit the letter and it tends to pull up the ones that start with the letter H, you know? Also like this, T for till, and then we'll go ahead and get the little cookie for it, so till the ground. So now what it's going to do, currently what I have this set up is, as after it harvests, it's going to till the ground, and then it'll plant, right now, grass, which we don't want grass. We want carrots. Okay? So now when this does a reset, it's going to come up over here in the top left. It's going to harvest, till, and if it couldn't harvest, it's still going to till it anyways, and it's just going to go to town. Oh, see that? So look over here, we got this bad boy. That's awesome. I didn't know we'd get that. We got the triangle. We look down here. You don't have the required items to plant entities carrots. Okay? The reason being is because carrots, which we can go here. Carrots. Why did it not? It tends to pull up carrots. Go away. No, I'm panic pressing. Carrots right here. Item. Okay. Nope. Well, either way, carrots require wood. I don't know why it's not saying. I think carrots require wood and grass. There it is. It was under entities. Okay. So carrots require 1 wood plus 1 grass, or hay, sorry, to plant 1 carrot. So in order to get more carrots, I'm going to need more wood. And that's something we'll be able to fix at a later time. So let's go ahead and get some wood. And then we'll look at getting carrots planted. Let me see what all we need here. To expand the land, we need 20 carrots. We might expand the land. Yeah? Okay, that's probably enough of that. Let's go ahead and get some carrots planted. Alright, let's make sure this will change to ground soil. You type till, grassland. Okay, so we're good there. Why did that reset again? Hold on. So do we see a problem here? It's retilling the ground. Why is it retilling the ground? Because it's running through here. It's running through, it's harvesting, and it's saying, okay, it's tilling the ground, which is making it back to hay. And then it can't plant carrots because it tilled the ground. I'm wasting my daggone time here. So we need to figure out, let me see, it used to have a get ground. Maybe I need to unlock a function. Get world size. Let's see about our functions here. Alright. We might need to start unlocking some of this stuff over here. I was kind of waiting for it, but I think we need to unlock it to unlock certain things that we can use. to actually help us. So we'll start off with operators. All right, let's go ahead and unlock operators and let's see if what all this unlocks. This unlocks a lot of stuff actually. For the future, for sure, this is going to be something. Please let me grab you. Thank you. Do I have the get ground type unlocked now? No, I don't. Alright, we'll continue. That's alright. We'll still figure it out. So this has the plus, as in adding, minusing, dividing. I'm sorry, timesing, dividing. That is the just floor. So that's pretty much, let me see, it's in here somewhere. It does the same thing as dividing, but instead of it giving it like a 0.5 here, you know, because 5 divided by 2 will be a 2.5, it breaks it all the way down to where it's just 2. Okay, so, and then let me see here, you got the percent symbol. All right, and this bad boy, let's see, it essentially divides the two numbers and then returns the remainder. All right, so you can also think of it as a rapidly subtracting the right number from the left number until the remainder is less than the right. So right number is subtracted from the left number, and then this is always going to be less than the right number, is what that's just saying. I don't know. The power operators, I understood it earlier, and I think you just have to read all of this, honestly, and I'm not doing all that at 1:20 in the morning. So then you have the logic operations, which is, we'll come all the way up to the top here. We got the equal symbol, which means if something equals 1. So if that equals 1 or equals true, if that's something, if can harvest equals true, then harvest. Okay, it's the same thing. You got not equal, so you could say if something does not equal false. Okay, if can harvest does not equal false, harvest, which means the exact same thing as if it can equal true, harvest, right? It's just a double negative for that. Delete that before I forget that's there. Confused on why it's broken. You got the less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, and then greater than. So if a number is less than or equal to this number, make that item true. Do a flip. If 1 is less than or equal to 1, do a flip. If then you got the greater than, equal to. You got less than and then greater than, which is all pretty simple. You got not. Okay, if something is not, or you can do the and. Okay, so at some point you're gonna have to plant every other block, which that and function is what I used. I did the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, or as in if this item is true, or if that item is true, then let this happen. All right, so there's your operations. My throat is dry. All right. So I have another warning here. It was just talking about the grass being an issue. So let's see. Variables. That's something that I want to unlock. We definitely need to define. We need stuff. So how we can fix this for now until I can get that function that I'm talking about, we could always come up here and we can say till up this way. Or a better thing to do would be to completely put it down here in a whole section by itself. Okay. But I might leave as is and let's see what happens. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay, yeah, we'll just have to put that in its whole new section by itself. Let's go ahead and get some... Did you stop? Why did you stop? Oh, sorry. I forgot to take that off. So let's unlock some stuff. Let's unlock this guy. Senses. Actually, that's what I need. The sensors. Okay, yeah, this guy right here. Come on, baby, give it to me. Bam! Alright, thank you. Get out of here, operations. Alright, boys, we are in a go, go, go function. So this is unlocked. Get position X, get position Y, which, again, this is what I tried to mess with earlier. So if we want to print... actually, you know what? We will actually go do this one. Print, get position X, and using the AND function, access Y. 2. We're 2 for both. Alright. You know what I forgot? I think it was that right there. I think that's what I needed. There it is, 2-2. And then I think we can even be a little... I don't know if it's... No, I won't get into that. I was thinking if I could like edit things, which you have to do the F function and everything else. Okay. So, but the biggest thing here, okay, if, remember that function, get ground type, thank you, does not equal, what was it, grounds dot soil to the comma till. Was it lowercase? So I forgot to do the little cookie there, okay? So make sure you have that. So now what's going to happen here for the carrots? It is going to harvest if it can harvest, and then it is going to check the ground type. Down here it says the ground type is grasslands. I was going to point like people could see my finger. And then if it is not soil, wait, that's not it. Yeah, that is it. If it is not soil, right now it's grassland here. If it's not soil, it's going to till. And then it's going to plant carrots. If it is soil, it's going to completely jump over this and go straight down to plant carrots. So now, whenever we go across here, we come back over, this is not going to turn into grass. And see, now it is checking right here. Is the ground soil? It's tilled. It's good. It's soil. So now it's just going to continue. And there we go. We fixed it. That's what I was trying to fix earlier. I forgot about this. I'm sorry. Things are growing. Things are growing slowly. Alright, that's a problem we'll have to run into later. And also another problem is I'm out of wood. So let's see what else we should be doing. Maybe expanding the field and, I mean, really like raising all this stuff up. You get variables unlocked. We need that anyways. We're gonna need this define function. Don't really need a list right now. We could make this easier for ourselves and go really in depth. Alright, let's go with some wood. Let's expand. Alright. So let's go over senses for a second. So it also has the function of number of items, or which is going to be useful. All right, so you see number of items. That's useful for if you decide to, which we will, create like a, like if the number of items is this right here, so it can look up this. All right, so let's type in number of items, and then I think you type items. Yep, period, hay, wood, and carrots. So now this will actually print the number of items that we have in hay, wood, and carrots. We can do the print function. Okay, we have to put that in its big old cookie mouth. All right, and now it'll actually print. Oh, let me delete this bad boy right here. 14. So it knows how much hay we have. Okay, so that means we can create a program where we can have hay, wood. We'll just do that right now. Okay, and then we can say have a set number of 110 apparently, and 110 here, and we can say here, down here, if, let me delete the print function here, if number of items, the item being hay, is less than, we'll even say, we can say hay, okay, because we'll have this eventually as a function. Then we can say plant hay, you know, plant entities grass. All right, and then it'll run through this code and it'll say, and then and then we can go like this, and then we can have another one. This is just an example, by the way. This we have to do some other things, but we can have this one here, right? So yay, it's time for my medicine. So we could have another one here that says if the item's number of wood is less than the number of wood given here, which is less than this up here, then let's go ahead and plant some wood. All right, and that's something that we can create, which, let me go take my medicine, and unfortunately it only took me a few minutes. I'm sorry, I'll be right back though. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I'm back. All right. So let's see here. Let's see if we can go ahead and unlock everything. Let's see if we can unlock you, variables. We need 40 carrots. All right, so let's go and start planting carrots. And let's talk about this really fast. So variables, okay, is this right here. So you can create a variable. Variable name equals the value, which is this example right here. All right. So excuse me, like this example right here, B can equal can harvest. So if that's the case, we can go ahead and write this up here at the top, kind of like this, B equals can harvest, and then erase this can harvest if B then harvest, and it'll do the exact same thing. Okay, or right here for I in range A stands for 5. Okay, and then there's another thing down there that I'm not looking at. So let me see. Is that every? No, I need define. Item. Okay. So define. This is really cool, actually. Define can be used. I don't really know how to explain this one other than like. Let me type. So we can make like one main program here, and then these files. All right, we can think of it like these are files. Define allows these to become files, which will allow us to bring them in here in our one big code and run it. So instead of having all of these open, these can stay closed and just attached. I got the hiccups. And just attached to this one main file. And that's kind of how that works. Although we need import. So we need 80 carrots. So let's go ahead and get more carrots. Alright, and we're going to write one big code. Shall we? So we always started off with while true in this game. Also, I like to always have clear. I just like starting off fresh and not having to worry about anything. Now, we know we have hay. No, I don't want it capitalized. Hay, wood, and carrots. Oh, carrots. I spelled carrots. I did not. And now we're going to turn them into a value. And we'll say starting out, well, apparently 110 is really what I like. 100 for both. Okay. Let's see. Let's unlock import. So import takes the files and allows us to pull them into the main program here. So now what we can do is exactly what I talked about here. We can do this, but there's a difference. All right, there's one thing that we have to change. Please stop. All right, so instead of saying if, right, we don't want to say if. We want to actually say while. While number items hay is less than hay, then let's produce hay. Okay? Also, something we will have to work on just a little bit here is we have to change this stuff around. Alright, so remember we have the define function. Alright, so define. It's okay, we'll figure this out in just a second, guy. Calm down. Define. Driving me nuts. Ah! Okay. Alright, so define is turning it into kind of like a function like harvest or do a flip. Okay, it's gonna kind of turn into a function like that. So define, and then we'll say planting underscore, because can't have spaces, hay. Alright, and I don't want capitalization. I really wish I would stop doing that. And now we'll put the Cookie Monster's face with the colon here. And that's it. And now here, All right, what we can do is type import, and then we'll type the file name, which is the top here, need hay planted. Okay. And then we'll go down, and then we'll type need hay planted again, period. And now look, planting hay is appearing. We'll go ahead and tab that. It's showing green, but we actually want a cookie attached to it. All right. So now, since this hay is set to 100, which we'll set it to 20, just so we have a way to use it. We'll click it. Look at that. I click this one. That one's running. It's pulling it in. Okay. And there we go. We can stop it. And that's that. So now we want to do that for everything else, right? So we'll define, turn off cap lock, define planting underscore wood, the colon, the little cookie monster face. Okay. And now we're going to do the exact same thing we did here. We're going to copy the while. And now the important thing is to keep this level with this guy. All right. And then we'll import. We'll copy the file's name. Maybe. Maybe not. Excuse my dog. And then we will replace it. Planting wood. There it is. Go ahead and give it the old cookie there. And now we got wood on here, which we have to change this to wood. Don't forget that. That's important. Go ahead and make sure this is set to wood. Okay, and then we got one more. We got carrots left. All right, so let's copy, paste, change this to carrots. Like so. Bring that down. We'll import. And now watch. I will do carrots here without actually creating a define. And I'll show you. So it needs carrots planted. Period. It's only pulling up my X, which is this guy right here. Alright, that's what define does. So we need to make sure we go in here, define planting underscore carrots. I'm super awesome with names. Alright, and now let's delete that period, bring it back up, planting carrots. Boom. Son, we need to make sure that it is not green, so it has the little two things there, the cookie, which I think those are the colons. No. I don't know. Forgive me, alright? But remember that carrots require 1 hay and 1 wood in order to plant. So that means if we set carrots to 100, we're going to run out of something, which we're going to run out of hay first. And then it's just not going to do anything. So we need to be aware of that. And that's also very important for how we're laying out our code. Because this is going to run from the top down. So it's going to hit every line down. So if we have carrots up here, it's only going to hit carrots. And if we run out of hay or wood, it's not going to ever reach the hay or wood. So we want it carrots down here because we need to reach hay and wood first. And then do carrots. And then we're planting carrots. We need to tell this thing, hey, listen, dude, we're out of carrots. You need to go plant more hay and wood. Okay? Otherwise, it's just going to freeze on carrots and it's going to be like, hey, I'm trying to plant carrots and it's not able to plant. I don't get it. So we need to tell the system that. So here we'll say, we'll gather this again, all right? Because this is important. If This time we'll use the if function. Number of items, hay. And instead of using the hay itself, we'll create a second one. I like to call it need hay. Okay. This is when I know that I need to get hay. All right. So we'll make that equal. I tend to do like around like 50% mark, or not 50%, but like 50 below whatever. So if I'm doing 100, I'll do 50. If I'm doing 1,000, I'll do 950. And then we also need to do this for wood because we need wood in order to plant carrots as well. And then for the future, we'll have carrots needed for pumpkins or something, and so on and so on, and things stack on top of each other. So this is important to get out now. I said carrots when I meant to say wood. So now if wood or hay is below 50, all right, it's gonna jump out and then go to the hood and the wood and hay. But how the heck do we get this to jump out? Well, there's a function called break. And break, which I think you can, yeah. So you can go here, it breaks out of loop. Okay? And it'll break out of like the if. Alright, this right here is where it starts, and it's gonna break out 1. So it's actually going to break out of this, which will make it shoot back up here and then go back down. Okay, and that's why this was important on how we set this up. All right, so once it breaks out of the carrots, it's just going to shoot right up to the top, come back down, say, holy crap, hay is not where it should be at. Let's go ahead and plant some hay. Okay? And we need to do the exact same thing for wood. So we'll get... try and copy the whole entire thing, and then make sure it says if wood, and then break, and now we need it to actually say need hay need wood. Okay, so my need wood and my need hay is at 50. My hay itself is at 100. My wood itself is at 100. So now, as it runs through the carrots, it's going to check where's the wood at, or where's the hay at. Is it below this percentage or this number? If so, let's break out. If not, where's the wood at? We're good. Let's keep going. Okay. So now, this program will run until I get 100 of everything. It's going to run until I get 100 hay, and then it'll go down to wood, and then it'll go down to carrots. And just for poos and giggles, let's set this for 50. Alright, and let's set need hay to 40. Alright, just so we know that we should get to it pretty quickly. Alright, hold on, let me set wood. Let me set wood to 80 so we don't sit here and do a bunch of wood either. Alright, and now this program, it doesn't actually reset to check things until after it goes back up here. Then it says, oh, okay, I've reached the amount I need, we're good, let's go ahead. And that calls me a liar, as it does it. So it's below the 50 mark, or once it hits below 40 here, it should jump out of the carrots and go back up to hay. Things are growing. There it goes. So now it's like, hey, I'm below, I need to get some more hay. Carrots are growing, things are being slow. That's alright, we'll fix that with water, and then things will run pretty smoothly after that. So let me set my stuff back up to 100. I think that's what I need. And let me put you to 50. We'll let you run in the background for a moment while I look over things. Ooh. So I could increase the speed, although will it make much of a difference right now? But I could expand. That'll work. Let's expand. Let's restart here so we're actually running the right way. Let's see what's going on here. Perfect. Now something we could do, which I actually don't have, we could create a for Y in range, get world size, and then have east there, and we might have to do that. Actually, I think we will have to do that eventually. It's not right now, I guess. But and then let me see what else we got going on here. We got water. We could start looking at water. Water will be used to increase like how fast things grow. That would be useful. Or we could expand the field again to number 6. And we'll see here. This is interesting. I don't know what I did differently to make it start harvesting or planting the new thing. Normally it would reset here and then I would be like, oh crap, okay, it's time for me to move on. Now it's actually doing it, so that's interesting. Okay. So maybe we'll look at water. We'll look at water, why not? Let's go ahead and unlock water. Realized for some reason we needed hay. Not quite sure why. Why did it shoot up the hay again? That's alright, it'll figure itself out. Alright, so watering. Alright, so water can be seen as, let's see, the ground has water levels reaching from 0 to 1, or you could say 0, like, you know, like a 0.5, which would be 50%, all the way to 1 or 100%. Let's say at 1.0 is what it looks like. Maybe it's just one period. I don't know. Either way, but right here it says at 0.25. Alright, so that'd be like a 0.2. So how we use it is this function right here. Use item water. But we can see where our water is at by using the function get water. Okay? So if we use this function get water, we'll actually use the print function again. Print parentheses get water. It's at 0. Okay? But now if we say use items dot water, now we're at a 0.25, or we can hover our mouse over it. We see it at 0.24, and it's slowly ticking down as time goes on, all the way till it reaches a 0. Now, what we can do, okay, is the exact same thing that we did before with these bad boys. Let's create a watering feature, a water file. Okay. What should we call it? Getting watered? Getting water? I don't know. Define, not define itself. Define water ground. I don't know. We'll do that right there. Why not? All right. So we can do an if statement here. All right. So if, all right, use item water, it's here, is less than, maybe less than 0.50%. All right. Then why not okay, hold on, not use item, that's wrong, I'm getting tired. Get water function. If get water is less than 50%, then use item water. Yeah. Okay. And now, let me see. You are less than 50%. Let's see if you'll work. Okay, that's because I have the defined function set up. We can always do this if you're ever wanting to test. Okay, go ahead and remember use the number on there, and then you can say the while true statement. Okay, while true statement, and then this should work. Wait, I deleted set. There you go. What? Use, not set. Oh, where did I get set? Use item. There we go. Then now it's at 50%. It's seen that it was at 50, or it was below 50%, and it made it to 50%, actually a little over 50%, and then it stopped. Okay? So that's working perfectly. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's bring this up. Let's get this set up as a file. Yeah, so now what we can do is we're actually going to be dealing with these guys. All right, our files themselves would be the better option. Instead of putting them in here, we can go ahead and put them in our regular files. So we can say the if can harvest, and after we harvest, I think would be the best spot for this. We will import the getting water. Okay. We'll copy getting water because we'll need that. Come on, dude. Getting water, period. Water and ground. Yeah, let's not get that right there. That. Okay. So now when it goes through and needs hay planted, it's going through here and it's saying, hey, get hay planted. And then as it goes to here, it's going to go into this file and it's going to say, hey, after it harvested, it's going to check, is the water level below 50%? Let's go ahead and let's hit it. Okay. And then it's just going to move on down to plant, move north. And it'll just keep doing that with all of them until all my ground is at 50%. And then it'll only do it when it needs it. So that gives us a chance to level up, which honestly, this is going to be a while. I think I'm going to run out well before I get it all to 50%. But hey, that's all right. So we can go ahead and copy this statement here, and then we can do the same thing for the rest of them, yeah? So I think that'll be a good spot for you. And then for carrots, we'll wait till the ground is tilled, and then we'll check the water, and we'll see what's up. So now, let's leave the water open here. And we'll see what it's going to do wood. Alright? And as you can see, it's doing 25% because it's hitting it once, and it's moving on. And now whenever this is faster, it'll get back up here eventually, and it'll hit this water again. Bam, 47% now. So it's just going to keep doing this until it's at 50%. We're good. We don't have to do anything. We just sit here. I can talk to you guys, and I can do nothing. Put on my thumbs, fall asleep, sleepy, tired. So tired. I'm just kidding, boys. Oh, I'm good. I'm not muted. I thought I was muted the whole time. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's a good, let me see. Oh, let's increase speed a little bit, yeah? Water makes these things grow so much faster. So now wood is at a 1.4. 1.14. Okay, roughly. That's what, 3 times faster than what it was? So that's awesome. Water is very useful. Water is definitely worth leveling up. See, we can expand again. Maybe we'll expand one more time and then we'll call the live stream done there, I think. And then next time I get back on, I will do trees. We'll talk about trees. Trees are a better way of getting wood, obviously. But a trick with trees is that you have to plant every other. I mean, you don't have to, but it's better to plant every other. Okay? What? Oh no, not any more wood. But once I get below 50%, boys, check this out. It's going straight to hay first because it needs the hay. The hay needs to be at 100. That's alright though. Hay goes by pretty quick. And you can see here we've already had a warning which happened earlier. Water does not have enough items, which is perfectly fine. We'll eventually get that leveled up. And that makes this game nice to, you know, you can set your numbers to something crazy and then you can just walk away and just get a nice set of items here. You're not having to wait for it to reach a spot, then you stop it, then you click on another spot, then you stop it, and so on and so on and so on. Whenever this reaches its max potential, which we'll see here in a second, it'll just kind of freeze like that. And that's the problem with an infinite loop, by the way. So it can definitely, like, it can break your whole entire code if you're actually doing other codes. Which, I mean, and then I think you can change these things, although you'd have to restart anyway, so it makes a difference. I was playing with some stuff, but I haven't figured out. So, look at that field now, baby. Let's see how it goes. Will it do good for the whole entire field, or do I have to change things? Perfect. Look at that bad boy. Heck yeah, that's nice. Alright, guys, well, thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you watch this as a live stream, I really appreciate your time so much. I thank you. If you watch this as a video later on, please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what your thoughts are about this game, and does it make you excited? I love coding. It makes me so happy to code. I don't understand why. This is rather obnoxious. I tend to play without headphones on so I don't hear this drone constantly going. It's like a drone. Alright, I'm done with the jokes for tonight. But yeah, let me know how you guys go with this game. I really appreciate you so much. Anyways, so guys, on that note, I'm terrible with goodbyes, but I'll catch you all in the next